the Leroy Slava podcast. Conversations with entrepreneurs that inspire and experts to admire. Now, if you enjoy these podcasts, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell to receive updates of future podcasts. Marius da Vos, how are you, sir?
I'm fine, and yourself?
Good, healthy and well.
Healthy, kicking, ready for action.
Ready for action. Election year.
Crazy time. Yeah, we are extremely busy crisscrossing the watch, putting up posters, handing out pamphlets, getting voters to register, those who are not registered, so this is that time of our political calendar, where you have to be in the face of voters.
Yeah. Do you enjoy it? Or is it a fun time? Is it a stressful time? Is it I don't know.
It's a mixed basket in my view, It's fun to listen to people, when they express themselves on how much I and the party I'm representing, contributed to them getting services, but it is distressing to hear people complaining all the time about simple things, which cannot be done, like cutting grass, keeping the street lights on, fixing potholes,
phoning the police station and they respond.
You're phoning the metro police, the police station, you don't get a response, those are distressing things, which you really would not like to see festering, because it becomes a norm if you drive past the same pothole every single day
for weeks
on end, you're reporting it, but the depot manager keeps on telling you that I don't have a walk behind roller, I do not have all the consumables to be able to fix the pothole, and then you ask yourself, but if the municipality is collecting revenue from residents, from customers, what are they doing with all the money, are they not, is there not a budget ring fence to take care of our roads, street lights? I've spoken to the depot manager for energy late last year, and I confronted him about street lights going out, and we see them disappearing on an alarming rate, The man threw his hands up into the air, he said, there's nothing, no parts or equipment in his store, to fix street lights, we have posed questions to council, I know my colleague, Councilor Ashley Hoods, got an answer, a written answer, on the issue of neglect of streetlights, And all they say in that reply is that there is 120 million rand budgeted for streetlights. But we don't see streetlights.
Or is the city?
Yeah, in Ekurhuleni.
120 million for streetlights.
For the entire metro, But we don't see streetlights fixed. We see them disappearing.
Yeah.
Driving on the R21 Roundabout Road, here past the Hyperama, criminals having a field day, they're pulling off over those long, tall streetlight posts, and helping themselves
these days,
on the with cables, copper cables and stuff like that. I've reported that. Nothing happened to date, So yeah, these are distressing moments, when people relate all of these things to you.
Hi, Leroy Slava here. I'm a property investor, property developer, and a property coach. So I've been investing for over 10 years in multiple strategies, from flips to buy to lets to multi-lets, commercial property, retail, developments. I've even got a school renting on one of my properties. And I've coached over 100 property students in the last 10 years. And most of them have bought properties. So what I've done is I've put together a coaching program for investors that are starting out. You haven't bought your first property and you want to get into the property market and you want to start investing, we've got a program for you. Or you already invest, you already own 5, 10 properties and you want to grow your portfolio, or you want to restructure your portfolio. You've made a few mistakes and you need help with that. This program is for you. So click on the link below. Contact us, send us an email, and one of our team members will contact you and we'll see how we can help you on your property journey and help you grow your portfolio. I believe now is the best time to get into property. Okay? And I believe property is the quickest way to financial freedom. So what you waiting for? So contact us, one of our team members will contact you and we'll get you started on your journey to financial freedom. God bless you. Chat soon.
On the lighter side of things, you know, we are trying our level best, what councillors, with due respect, but our hands are kind of tight. You know, because we do not have executive powers. You know, if I was the mayor of Ekurhuleni, I would have done all these simple things, you know, in a quick fix.
And that's what we're saying. It's an election year, it's a national election, there's so many challenges. But the average person just cares about, listen, am I safe? Is it clean? Is the lights on? You know, those basic, most people are not into politics and macro politics. We just care about most things that are around us. But I think Marius, we just got into it. So guys, this is Marius da Vos. We had him on a year ago, plus minus year 2 ago, and he's the ward councillor in Boksburg for Ward 32. He's doing an amazing job here. And yeah, remember to like, subscribe and share this video. I think we just got into it, but that's good. That's good. So thanks for joining us, Marius.
Thank you.
It's an election year. State of the nation.
Address today.
Today. Last time we talked about the duties of a council. I think today let's just talk general. What the year is going to be like. What do you see? Where it's going, to which party? Obviously, you're from the DA, so we know where you what you want. I had a chat yesterday with a friend of mine. He's a PA. He's one of the leaders in the PA in the community locally. And he said, "Who are you voting for?" I said, I think I'm voting ACDP. He saw him and it's not even PA. I said I'm voting ACDP. He said, what's the manifesto? I said, I actually don't know what's the manifesto of the ACDP, but my thinking is I would like Christians, more Christians in Parliament. So there's at least maybe a voice of reason, and because I know sometimes the ACDP also alerts the church and say, listen, this is what they're trying to do, pray in this manner. But then he said, but they're doing nothing. I said, yeah, they don't have energy, the ACDP. I don't know why. He says, vote PA. He said, vote PA, man. PA are working for the colors and all that. I said, I don't really vote like that. Along racial lines and stuff. And he said, no, but borders and this for the ACE. I said, okay, that's good things. That he so yeah, so I said, okay. But anyway, this is my thinking was I'm voting for the ACDP. Where do you see this going now? Because we don't even know when the election is yet. You think you're going to announce it tonight?
Yeah, I know. Look, all these issues that you've mentioned now, you know, those are the issues that are playing out in the political environment out there, you know. Yeah, no, we're expecting the president to pronounce tonight on the actual election date. which will then obviously give credence and get parties, you know, to conclude and finalize their political calendars, you know, running up to the actual day of elections. You understand that, you know. Now, you would see political parties going out now, you know, in full force, you know, it's crazy time. They would vie now and do crazy things, you know. Some will kiss babies in townships, in squatter camps, you know. Some of them will crisscross Shures infested informal settlements, you know, which they only know this time of the year, you know, when it's a few months before elections, to go and visit people there, making all sort of promises, you know. Some of their manifestos will be pulled out from closets, you know, dusted off. The exact same list of promises, you know, will be thrown to voters out there, you know, especially the poor and vulnerable people, you know, would bite to that, you know, because some of them would go out and even tell people lies that if you vote a particular way, your social grant will be taken away, which is absolutely not the case, you know.
Property Pick is not a typical property listing platform. It is a property investment platform for first-time or seasoned investors looking for good investment properties in South Africa. Property Pick is also ideal for motivated sellers who want to sell their properties fast. Your first listing is absolutely 100% free. There is no catch. Join our community of property investors and sellers and let us help you along your journey. Go to www.propertypick.co.za and subscribe today.
Why do you, Marius, why do you think politicians think they can lie to you? Do you think they think that we're stupid? Do you think that I know there's a state saying that if you say a lie long enough, people start believing. So we do repetition, right? Like our President Slava, you saw that video where he went to one of these Indian, Pakistani, it was on Twitter, and he went there and he says, oh, how's your turnover? And is your shop registered? It was actually very disturbing and weak that he went to, because he was like, okay, why are you here? Do you have your papers? Or you understand? Because it's foreigners in the community having these things, and they do these things, and I wonder, do they think, are we that silly that things like that impress us and we vote? I don't know. You a politician, what do you guys think of us when you discuss in these meetings?
These are these public stands that politicians pull on voters, you know, and it's often once off, you know, very close to elections, that they would go out and pretend to be able to do something, you know, or to rectify the wrongs, or to act, you know. But we as voters, and voters out there should know that the only time you get a real return on your vote, you know, is when you see that the things that you would love to see changed have changed over a period of 5 years. In the case of South Africa, our government runs over a period of 5 years, you know. But you cannot keep on voting for a political party, giving that party the right to govern, but that party gets nothing done over 5 years, you know.
Over
unemployment.
Over how long is it now? 30 years.
It's 30 years.
30 years.
Unemployment escalates, you know. Under ANC rule, you see unemployment rocketing here, you know. You see poverty escalating every single year, you know. You see crime spiraling out of control. You see all sort of social ills just growing, and government runs out of ideas to contain these things. But if you look to the other end, where the Democratic Alliance governs, the Western Cape, most of those towns and cities in the Western Cape, Midvaal here in Gauteng, you see the clear blue difference between what it means to vote for a party that is clear on governance, how to govern. When you craft policies, you implement them to the letter, you make sure it's done. Your politicians in council or in government, provincial government, like in the case of the Western Cape, does proper oversight and make sure that every single cent collected from taxpayers gets spent for the betterment of communities and citizens of this country. You know, in the Western Cape, I see the Premier of the Western Cape, Ellen Windy, the Mayor of Cape Town, you know, always in the front page newspapers, you know, of newspapers, where they give updates on how much they have turned the corners on energy provision in the Western Cape, and Cape Town in particular, you know. The Mayor of Cape Town, Jordan Lewis, boasted the other day, and rightfully so, you know, that he has created 290,000 jobs, you know, more jobs than all these other cities in Gauteng accumulatively could have
This
done.
is in the Western Cape.
In the Western Cape, you know. So people have, and voters have a choice to going towards this election, you know. There's a track record of the Democratic Alliance in the Western Cape and here in Midvaal.
So where are the DA? The DA is in the Western Cape.
And we run the Midvaal municipality here in Gauteng. And Tshwane.
Are they still in Tshwane?
Yes, under Mayor Celia Brink.
Yeah.
He is trying his level best to create a government, you know, that will obviously take off very soon, you know. I mean, he walked into an ANC mess there, you know, created over many years of local governance, you know. And he's trying his level best to get systems in place, and that those systems speak to conditions on the ground, and so that both officials and politicians, councillors, per se, you know, come together, work together, so that municipality creates and a conducive environment for locals to operate, to run their businesses, to provide the services needed, and all of those things. Yeah.
And Ekurhuleni, the DA is out now, eh? That's the ANC and the EFF.
Ekurhuleni, we were booted out of power because the coalition was extremely weak. The ANC and the EFF could, at any given day after we were voted into power, club together and vote us out, you know. We created strong leadership and very good, sound systems, you know, of running our finances of the municipality. You could see under the leadership of Alderman Tanya Campbell that the municipality grew from a negative rating, you know, to a positive rating with all these rating companies, you know. The few days cash on hand, you know, got increased to very close to 30 days, you know. Today we're sitting with our hands in our hair, you know. We don't know where the next meal is coming from, you know, if you put it in those terms. Currently we have less than 13 days cash on hand.
Ekurhuleni.
In Ekurhuleni, the Auditor General is definitely going to punish Ekurhuleni in the final auditor report, you know. We are not compliant. We were supposed to have the AG report tabled in the last council meeting. and it never happened, you know. We in real trouble in Ekurhuleni. You can look at the environment, you know, what you see there, out there, long grass, not cut, and overgrown weeds and all of these things, potholes, storm water drains blocked, you know. Those conditions speak to what's happening in the echelons of executive in this municipality.
I'm always so amazed that look, we are close to the municipality in our area, and you'll see the grass is not cut, there's potholes, and you think these people drive in every day, walk up to the offices, see this, and I don't know who's in charge of that, but someone will say, if I was a senior manager, I'll say, listen man, Marius, did you guys notice that the grass is long here by our offices? Is someone not going to cut it in? I don't know, is there no one that, because they drive the same roads that we drive, they walk to that same long grass that we walk to, and if it was your house, you'd say, listen man, why don't you send Leroy there to sort that grass out when it looks ugly. People are walking in here, it doesn't seem like, is it that people don't care? Or is it just there's no money? Or is it people do not care?
You see, Leroy, if the head of the institution is not hands-on, if the head of the institution is absent, you know, in all of these matters, then you get that kind of attitude from people that you are leading. You see, our executive mayor is an absent mayor. He does not really know what's happening on the ground, you know. In the last council meeting, the mayor made a speech, and then political parties responded to his speech. Councillor after councillor who responded attacked the mayor, and it was directly directed at his attitude, you know.
So who's the mayor? ANC mayor or EFF mayor?
The mayor is from the AIC, a small party, you know.
What does the AIC stand
The
for?
AIC, African Independent Congress, you know. It's a party that was established in Matatiel, Kokstad, a couple of years ago, in response to that area, Kokstad, Matatiel, being demarcated into KwaZulu-Natal, you know. So they created that party out of anger for the ANC, and then the ANC promised them that over time they would re-demarcate those two towns back into the Eastern Cape, because it had budgetary implications for the Eastern Cape government. You understand that, you know. So those guys, through the choice out of the court, they established that party. And then in local elections, that party suffers here in Ekurhuleni.
How many votes did they get?
In 2016, they got, I don't know how many votes, but they got councillors elected, you know. I'm sorry. They got councillors elected. And those councillors formed a coalition with the ANC in 2016. That coalition, led by Mayor Masina, lasted right up to November 2021, and it continued now in this coalition between the EFF and the ANC after the DA was disposed. Couple of last year, April, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting how politics works, eh? So they didn't get a lot of votes, but he's the mayor. But obviously he's probably just there and getting influenced from both sides, or what?
He's mocked in council. Some of the councillors called him a Blompot mayor, you know, because he's a proxy mayor in my view, you know. because between the ANC and the EFF, they have decided that no one would become mayor among them. They would choose a mayor from the smaller coalition parties.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. Interesting. This politics is complicated, eh? So cool. Now, what do you think is going to happen this year? Because we have the election, we have the ANC, who should get what, less than 40%. Then we have the DA, who's the main opposition. Then there's the EFF. Then there's, I guess, the PA, Freedom Front, and then the Action SA. Now, I think everyone believes we're going to have a multi-party coalition government, or what do you think? How do you think this is going to play out this year?
Look, in Gauteng, all the signs are on the whole that we're going to have a coalition government in Gauteng, you know. Currently, the ANC has only one member of the local, of the provincial legislature, more than the opposition parties altogether, you know. And with the latest polls which I've seen, you know, and which the party shares with us on a daily basis, you know, or weekly basis, is that the ANC has dipped under 40% in Gauteng province, you know, which means that at any given day, opposition parties can come back after elections in May this year and form a coalition, you know. Under the capable leadership of the DA leader, John Steenhuisen, a multi-party charter was formed, you know. Between about 6 to 7 political parties.
So what's the DA, the PA, Action SA, Freedom
Front Plus, UIM, and ACDP. No, I don't know whether the ACDP has come to the party yet, but they indicated that they will join the MPC. You know, they had issues that had to be sorted. You know, I think they have worked on that, and they will join, or they have already joined. I haven't checked yet.
Yeah.
But the opposition parties stand a very good chance to form government in Gauteng after elections in May. The ANC has clearly messed up, and it's you can see, I mean, cities are ran down, you know, over a long period of time, you know. It's provincial and national government elections, but any and every other thing relating to government happens here in the space of local government. You know, whether we're going to vote national, provincial government, our water services is local, our electricity providers are municipalities, and it's local. You know, load shedding is the most biggest factor that is hampering the ANC's chances at the polls, you know. And then obviously through load shedding, many people lost their jobs because companies closed doors, you know, those who could not.
A couple of hours a day,
you know, and people lost their livelihoods, you know, in a blink of the eye, you know.
I loved when, what's his name, the ANC spokesperson now, where's Matez, what's his name? Fikile, he said load shedding was caused by under the winter. Did you hear that? That's what I'm thinking. These people think we're stupid.
It's funny.
And under the winter was in there, what, 3 years ago, for 2 years or so, and load shedding's been around for what, between 15 and 20 years now?
16, also close to 16.
Yeah, it says load shedding was caused by under the winter. And it was funny. So now if you say we have a coalition, but what if the ANC joins with the EFF or the ANC joins with one of these other, then they have the majority. So that's also a thing, isn't it going to bring instability? These ones join, the PA pulls out or the VP pulls out, then the ANC are back in, then it jumps again, and it's just a big
Look, it's politics is elections. In fact, is about numbers. Now it's clear that if we want the multi-party charter to prevail, come the day after elections, then we as councillors, activists of these political parties and MPs and MPLs serving today must go out and make sure that we get maximum voter support on that election day, to be able to beat both the ANC and the EFF, or to prevent them from forming a coalition, and then further running down this beautiful country.
Why do you think he's delayed the announcement of the election?
Nothing has delayed it. It is.
Was it normal that
it's normal that the president pronounces
this time
in his State of
the Nation
address the date.
But isn't it short? Like in February, he says it's in May. That's like 2-3 months.
It's 3 months. Yeah. It is 90-day grace period for the election calendar to run. What's going to happen if he pronounces tonight? Then in the next day or two, the date will be gazetted in the government gazette. In between now and that, the appearance of the election date in the gazette, government gazette, we will then have more time to register people,
But is it enough time? Like, let's say for the DA or the Freedom Front to say, okay, now. But everyone is probably prepared and ready and waiting.
Look, we had voter registration over the past weekend, in my ward alone, we registered close to 400 people.
This was over how long? Over the last?
That was people who walked into the voting stations, They might have...
Last week or the last 2 weeks or what?
Last past weekend.
3rd
and 4th of February.
Okay, nice.
In total, Boksburg managed to register about 2,000 people,
The DA?
Not the DA, but those are people that we canvassed.
Yeah.
So we believe that the majority of them will support us
Will support
at
DA.
the voting stations. We called them, we visited them, we handed out pamphlets to them. So these are the people who we canvassed. So we believe that those are the people that will support us. And then there is an online portal, where people can go check their status and register to vote.
What if I'm registered, let's say, to the DA? I voted DA 8 years ago. I'm registered as a DA, right? But then I changed and I voted PA. Now I'm registered as a PA. Then I voted ACDP. Now I'm
you don't
register because they sign you up basically.
When you register to vote, you don't register.
It's not your vote yet.
Political lines.
Okay.
Political parties.
Oh, this is not signing up as DA members. This is just signing up to vote in that ward.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Political parties have their own membership drives.
Yeah.
If they want you to become a member, they would present to you a membership form, which you voluntarily fill out, and pay a fee to become a member of that party. But when it comes
the ANC way back, it was like 10 rand, or it was like a silly amount.
The ANC many years ago had 10 rand per year membership. I don't know whether it has changed, but in the DA we have multi-year membership, varying from 10 rand to 50 rand. So you pay 10 rand for 1 year, or you can pay 20 rand for 2 years, 30 rand for 3 years, or 50 rand for 5 years, to be a member.
Quick, I don't know if I've got 2 questions for you. One is, do you think, how's election corruption, voting? Is there a lot of that? Or is it easy to steal an election in South Africa? Like, let's say the ANC see now, okay, the numbers are dwindling. Is it easy for them to influence the IEC to get more ballots in, to get this, to get... I'm not sure, I'm just asking. Maybe it's a... Because I always thought, because you would think the ANC's been in power for all these years, you think they've got a big influence on the IEC?
No,
Or is it a difficult thing to do?
Look, it's not easy to steal elections in South Africa.
Is it?
You know,
Why not?
Because our checks and balances are quite good. There's great auditing done, you know, proper auditing and stuff like that, you know. There's a voters roll. We know how many people are on the voters roll. When people vote on a particular day, you know, you also know how many people went
in there.
In that voting station.
There's 1,000, so we should have 1,000 ballots.
Then you must count against 1,000 ballots casted there, you know. And political parties have also the leeway to post party agents in those voting stations to observe. You understand? Even when counting is done, party agents are stationed there to observe.
And it's difficult to corrupt all of them.
It's difficult because when the presiding officers report the outcome, they must account for every single ballot casted there, you know. But if there is no proper observation done, it might be possible that politically aligned presiding officers might do the wrong things, but I haven't heard of any of those. Because our IEC, with due respect,
it's good.
Is, in my view, does excellent work and have been doing it over a very long period of time, since 1994. In fact, I casted my vote in 1994, first vote, when I was at the tender age of 19, a first-year student at the University of the second-year student, University of the Western Cape, when Nelson Mandela.
I remember, I was not a student vote, but I remember my mother and them, there was parties afterwards, they all wore traditional outfits and people stood on those long queues, and we had a party afterwards, and everyone voted ANC. You also voted ANC?
Yeah, I voted ANC. I was, you look, when we grew up, you know, we grew up in segregated areas, you know, colored area, black areas, white areas, you know, and we were groomed at school, you know, in politics, you know, that we need to fight to free Nelson Mandela from Robben Island, you know, from jail, and that we must fight, you know, to have one man, one vote, you know, all of those things, you know. We knew the Freedom Charter, we sang it, you know.
And now we don't know it.
Today, those things disappeared.
Do you know the Freedom Charter?
Because those clauses in the Freedom Charter have been neglected. It's not fully implemented by those who are in power now, you know. They threw that document overboard when they came to power. I know President Thabo Mbeki tried his level best, but when his predecessor took over, you know, we went the other way, you know. And that is why many of us left the ANC to join progressive parties like the DA, who changed over time, you know. My views in politics found more and better expression in the policies of the DA than my former political house, which was the ANC.
I also voted ANC. I think when I could vote the first time, I voted ANC. I can't remember when was that. 18, that was on 39, so that's about, let's say, 20 years. 21, 22 years ago. And I think I voted ANC twice, and then after that, you start noticing what's happening. I
was voting ANC up until 2004, when ANC got a two-third majority under Thabo Mbeki. And then between 2004 and 2008, things went wrong. 2007, the ANC went to Polokwane, that watershed conference. Thabo Mbeki got booted out there, Zuma elected president, and I decided to leave the ANC. And I left the ANC, you know. And I'm not, I don't think I regret leaving the ANC, you know, because I knew, I could see.
If you got any little bit of common sense, you can see that they're not here for the people. They're not here to serve anymore. They're selfish, and it's like they hate this country. No, it's like
we've inherited a country with world-class infrastructure. Although that infrastructure did not serve all of us equally, you know. But what do you do as the new government?
You expand on that. That's already working.
And I mean, look, we are losing our railway lines, you know, at Alam.
There's nothing left.
In the past, under the apartheid government, most goods were transported on railways.
It's cheaper.
And it was cheaper, and I mean, if your railway line is maintained, you know, you don't need to have, you won't have delays in delivery. You understand? Today, these railway lines do not exist, not even the passenger railway lines between Boksburg and Joburg.
Yeah, I see the passenger ones mostly, they're gone. All the stations are gone.
There's nothing left.
There's nothing left at these stations.
You see? So,
and that would be cheap as well, people that would travel, it's cheap transport.
Exactly.
Taxis are
overcharging, not overcharging, I mean it's expensive to run a taxi, you know, but yes, it would have been much more cheaper to get onto a train to your workplace.
Pretoria, Joburg, Sandton, wherever it is. Do you think that, do South Africans still vote along racial lines? Do Afrikaners vote Freedom Front? Do black people vote ANC and EFF? Do colours mostly voted? Colours were first ANC, some DA, and now obviously we have the PA with Gayton McKenzie. And then do you think South Africans still make their decisions who they're going to vote to along racial lines? Because I remember once one of my cousins said, and I also told them, way back 1994, between that and 2000, I was still small, one of them said, I'll never vote for a white man. That's what he said back then, and that we all believed. That somehow it also stuck in my mind, and obviously now things are changing.
Hi, Leroy Slava here. I'm a property investor, property developer and a property coach. So I've been investing for over 10 years in multiple strategies, from flips to buy to lets to multi-lets, commercial property, retail, developments. I've even got a school renting on one of my properties, and I've coached over 100 property students in the last 10 years, and most of them have bought properties. So what I've done is I've put together a coaching program for investors that are starting out. You haven't bought your first property and you want to get into the property market and you want to start investing, we've got a program for you. Or you already invest, you already own 5, 10 properties and you want to grow your portfolio, or you want to restructure your portfolio. You've made a few mistakes and you need help with that. This program is for you. So click on the link below, contact us, send us an email, and one of our team members will contact you and we'll see how we can help you on your property journey and help you grow your portfolio. I believe now is the best time to get into property. Okay? And I believe property is the quickest way to financial freedom. So what you waiting for? So contact us. One of our team members will contact you and we'll get you started on your journey to financial freedom. God bless you. Chat soon.
How do you think we still vote?
Look, my experience here in Boksburg, in Ward 32, is different, you know. I mean, I'm bearing a name that sounds more white than anything. but if you look at me, you
notice
see
it's not
something
white.
else, you know. You see. But my experience here in this ward is that people vote for a capable person that can assist them to have their services delivered and all of those type of things, you know. And this is how we should vote in this country, you know. Regardless color, creed or whatever, you know, we need capable men and women to run our country, you know. I notice this trend of racialized political parties taking roots, you know, in our communities, you know, especially in colored communities, you know.
The PA.
Not really the PA, you know, because lately the PA signs up.
Yeah, I see that in more
white
black communities
people,
or
black people, and
yeah.
whatever the case may be, you know. But the outlook is still more centered around colored people only, you know.
Fair enough, because they were neglected and was focused more on the black communities.
I was going
Yeah,
to
sorry,
go
sorry
there,
for disturbing you.
So colored people felt neglected, you know, by political parties, the main political parties, you know, the ANC, to a certain extent the DA, and some clever guys out there saw it fit to move into that space, you know, making noise around those things, and they got people together, and they got off the ground, you know, as a party that represent a specific group of people with a specific outlook, and then they expanded it now into other communities and whatever the case may be, you know. Yeah, all these parties have reason why they were created, you know. Because politics in South Africa is messy. Everyone in this country feels that you can wake up, register a party with the IEC and contest elections. You know, that's why how wide our democracy stands here, you know.
So what you're saying, everyone doesn't have good intentions, or what are you?
I don't think so, you know.
Do you think we have too many parties?
There's too many parties, you know, and sometimes you don't even grasp their ideology, you know. It's headless parties, you know. There's ideology bringing people together, you know. You and I must agree on a certain set of principles.
Yes.
You see, to be able to belong to a party, regardless.
Not I'm white, I'm colored, I'm black, I'm Indian.
You see,
what do we believe?
Exactly, you know, and in this country, you would see this ballot paper would be extremely long, you know, and there will be a number of parties on there. But just upsetting the apple cart, splitting the vote, you know. In mature democracies, you know, you choose between
3 parties.
2 to 3 parties,
Yeah,
you know. In Europe, coalition partners are normally a small group of parties, you know, with almost similar ideologies, you know. In South Africa, that's why our coalition arrangements don't work. It's because, and I'm privy to that, I served here, I'm still serving as a councillor in Ekurhuleni. Even in the coalition we had with other political parties, you know, we had different traits of ideologies, you know. And those things clash when it comes to decision making.
Yeah,
you understand that, you know. We had people in those coalitions, you know, with big egos. It's a one-man party, you know. But because
you need him.
you need him, you know, to be able to pull through certain decisions. You understand, you know? Yeah. Like I said, I think that I said it in the previous interview that politics in South Africa is simplified through this explanation, the following explanation. Take a neglected dog with ticks on his body. You would see that dog will always scratch and whatever. So this is how the politics in this country is currently,
Property Pick is not a typical property listing platform. It is a property investment platform for first-time or seasoned investors looking for good investment properties in South Africa. Property Pick is also ideal for motivated sellers who want to sell their properties fast. Your first listing is absolutely 100% free. There is no catch. Join our community of property investors and sellers and let us help you along your journey. Go to www.propertypick.co.za and subscribe today.
Hey, politics is common now. And you know, most of us, like myself, we're not into it. We really don't follow everything as closely as we probably should, As we probably should. But you told us the great part about the DA. Is there some things you're not happy with about your own party?
Look, when I'm not happy, I speak in proper forums.
Yeah.
When we have our constituency meeting or regional executive committee meeting, I air my views there, I don't go public with my problems with the party.
You're not going to tell us.
No, at this stage I'm happy. I don't have any real material issues with the party, I'm representing the party here. I think I must be glad to be one of the serving members, public reps of the Democratic Alliance. It's an honor, in my view.
Okay, because people say that the DA is for the suburbs and these, and they don't really care about poor people in townships and these communities.
No, that's a political stunt pulled on the DA by its rivals, The DA has the potential, to grow in all communities in this country, but you will have parties going out and painting the DA with a brush, which they want people to believe the DA is, which the DA is not, The DA is the most representative party in this country, when it comes to demographics. If you look at the EFF, it is predominantly a black party operating in poor areas, led by middle-class, educated young men,
rich young men,
women.
Now,
Understand it, Then you look at the ANC. I've seen at the January 8th statement, the January 8th celebrations of the party, of the ANC in Bombela, not so long ago.
Full,
The stadium was fully packed, but you could see for yourself who attended that celebrations. It's largely black people. I don't see any leader of color in the executive committee of the ANC here in Ekurhuleni. If you look at the executive committee of the ANC in our region, it is reflective of the demographics of Ekurhuleni. You understand? That's it.
Okay. What can we do, just to end it off here, because I know we have to. What can we do? Someone like myself, someone like Theo, this is a normal person. What can we do now to improve this country, to improve our city, to improve our lives here? What can we do? Because a lot of people feel it's hopeless, I'm not going to vote. What can I do except for vote? Because I know you say vote, so you're probably going to say go and vote for the DA. That's what you probably say.
Look, we cannot avoid to encourage people to vote, because that's it. That's where government ultimately starts. You need to get a mandate from the people to govern them. Therefore, it's your responsibility to go out and excite people and encourage people to go out to vote. But what is there that you could do for your country, you know? And I think this question has been punted all over. We need an active citizenry, you know?
Active citizen.
And what I mean by active citizenry, these are, it's when you are really part and parcel of governance. You understand that, you know? Way back in the Freedom Charter, it said that the people shall govern. You understand, you know? Now that translates into the involvement of citizens in the governance of their country, their towns, their suburbs, and whatever the case may be, you know. Often we see people dumping illegally, you know. Then we turn a blind eye, you know. Often we see friends of us speeding on the road, you know, in a 60-kilometer zone, you know, without reporting it to the Metro Police, as if they would respond immediately, you know. But what I mean is that active citizenry is to participate in governance through the structures that exist, you know. We have police departments, we have local government, with various service delivery departments, you know. So when we see all of these things happen, you know, people fiddling in our electricity network, you know, we should not turn a blind eye. We must report, you know, and assist the police, be the ears and eyes of the police, you know, so that crime can be contained. You understand that, you know? That I believe is active citizen. One thing that boggles my mind, you know, is when a grown man, right here in town in the CBD, would just jump behind a wall and start to pee, you know, in full view of, you know, those things.
That's how we closed,
Exactly, you know, those things, you know, it is just mind-boggling that you could do that in full view of the public, whatever the case may be. Now we must talk about those type of things, you know. Drinking in public,
doing drugs
on
the corners,
you know, and these drug peddlers, you know, people have all the information of where these people are operating from.
The police also knows.
The police also know, you know. Now, if we cannot solve those type of issues, you know, then we're far from being involved in governance. You understand, you know, because we all want a safe environment to live in and to do our daily business, you know. You see, and you would see this country, I mean, I looked into the history of Boksburg, you know, this town used to be very beautiful when many years ago. I believe that we could have maintained that.
And it's a small town, eh?
It's small. We could have maintained that status, you know, if we had capable men and women at the helm of local government, you know. You see, I'm telling you, if I get elected one day, mayor.
Is that your plan? Your plan is to...
I can't stagnate as a ward councillor.
Yeah.
You know.
So what's your goals?
I want to venture into the executive, you know, of council. You understand? As soon as we get there, you know, I want to be part and parcel of that team of MMCs, bringing back service delivery of note, quality, uninterrupted service delivery to the people of Boksburg. You know, our people are paying. We are the best paying rate payers in Ekurhuleni. You know, look what are we getting for that. You understand that? You know. And I have the qualities, you know, I have proper qualifications, you know. Couple of years ago, I qualified with honors in public administration, my majors there was local government, economics and politics of local government, you know.
So you qualified.
So you're sitting in council, listening to a mayor stumbling, his only reply to pertinent issues is noted, I'm noting it. You know, no action.
No feedback, no, we're working on this is what we've done, this is our plan, this is what our challenge is, why we can't do this, but we are working on it, this will be done by then.
And then if you look to Medval, Cape Town, George, Mosul, you mention those towns where the DIA in charge. You see those mayors at the forefront of bringing service delivery to people, you know, changing the lives of residents every single day, you know, making life easy for them, you know. I was in charge in December, a couple of days, you know, it's paradise, you know, walking on the streets, that's clean, at the beach front, you know, it's neat, you understand. You don't see those things in Ekurhuleni, you know. People are, when I came back, you know, first complaint I had was long grass. I saw municipal workers cutting grass in church, you know, and not just leaving the clippings
They
on the
cut
street,
it,
you know, they
so
clean up, you know. It's a whole system which they use, you know. Yeah, it's the other way around, you know. I had to go to the Boksburg Advertiser when I came back, you know, and went to one of the parks here in Boksburg South, you know, to draw attention from the municipality, from the mayor, from the MMC of environmental waste and whatever, you know, to take care of the grass. You understand that, you know? You see, you have to go to those lengths to get things done, which is normal practice. And it's the responsibility of the municipality to cut the grass, you know. But we are paying workers sitting there at the depot, earning full salaries for doing almost nothing. You know.
Yeah, you know what I'm thinking now, when you say active citizen, I heard a speech by Thabo Mbeki. I didn't listen to the full thing, I just listened to it short. He said, the citizens will start being the municipalities. He said that, now obviously I didn't listen to the full thing, but in the short clip that I listened to, he said, you'll find that the citizens will start becoming the police. And it's already happening with the security companies. When something happens, we call the security company instead of the police. They respond, and we pay. Obviously, we pay a fee for that, a monthly fee. He said the citizens will start cleaning. The citizens will start getting the lights fixed. The citizens soon, the municipality will be null and void. Well, I don't know if it's soon, but if they stop delivering, then the citizens they'll fill the pot, which is already happening. Remember, we tried it.
I mean, there's court rulings to this effect, you know, in a number of towns in South Africa. The latest ruling was the other day, I think it was in December in Bloemfontein, where the court held that if a municipality cannot deliver the services, residents can deliver those services and invoice the municipality for that. You understand that, you know? You see. So
do you think we're heading there?
We're heading with these local governments that we have, you know, unresponsive, uncaring, you know, incompetent local governance structures, you know. We are heading into that direction, you know, where you will have to remove your own waste and invoice the municipality at the end of the day. You understand that, you know. And that is the sorry part of it, the sad part of it, you know.
That people are paying the rates, but they still have to take out extra to get these services rendered. Do you think one of the problems I've noticed, I don't know if it is a problem, this is just my uneducated thing that I've noticed, that a lot of the municipalities, and you know, we spend quite a bit of time at the municipalities, so we up and down those stairs weekly, and you notice that you'll come to in Boksburg, you'll come to a guy and he's in water, whatever, you'll say, hey, my brother, listen, can you help me with this and this? You say, where are you from? And he'll say, Randburg. I say, okay, cool. You say you get to electricity. You say, hey, listen, man. This is what we need. This is the challenges we have. Are you from Bob? Where are you from? No, I'm from Pretoria. You say, okay, fine. Where are you from, my brother? Springs. Where are you from? And do you think that plays a role because the people that are working here are not from the area, so they don't really care because he leaves and he goes to Soweto later and he doesn't live here and deal with the long grass or the potholes. That a lot of the people working in the municipality are not from the area that they're from. That if you start hiring local, you'll have people that have better love for your local area. What do you think? Do you think that's possible? Wow, I don't know.
No, I don't.
But you don't think it makes sense because you're also not from here, basically.
Sorry. Look, you know, I'm from the Eastern Cape, Wolomor. I came up here 20 odd years ago.
Yeah.
But I came to participate here not as a layman, you know. I brought a skill.
Yeah.
You see. Yeah, like I said, you will never have a municipality sourcing all its workers and officials from the area in which it operates only, you know. Because your engineer might be sourced from another area, you know, working here and then traveling home.
And don't you think it should be that maybe let's see if we first have engineers, let's first work with local engineers. If we don't have the skill, then you outsource it. I don't know, just a thought. I was just thinking when I was seeing there's so many people in the local municipality that are not from me, and I was just thinking, is it maybe that's why things are because there's not a...
No, that's pure expertise skills, you know. To be an engineer, you know, engineers are thinly so. You don't find them behind every bush, you know. And therefore your engineer serving here in Ekurhuleni might come from as far as Cape Town, you know, or your HOD serving here, you know, running one of the departments in Ekurhuleni might live in Pretoria or whatever.
So you're saying get the person that's best for the job, best qualified for the job.
Best qualified, it doesn't matter where you come from.
Doesn't matter where you come from.
End of the day, we are all citizens of this country,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay. Marius, we've complained. Give us some good news, man. Give us some encouragement. Tell us the future looks bright and that something that makes us not just feel good, but something that we can look forward to, man. Because as South Africans nowadays, we're so negative and people just complain and especially with what you do, you just get all the negative. There's no this, Marius, there's no this, the lights are not on, this box is not working, the electricity not on, the water's off. What's the good news, man? What can we look forward to as South Africans?
Look, most certainly in Boksburg people can look forward to my consistent support and fighting attitude, you know, to make sure that they do get the necessary service and value for their dollar. You know? I will keep on doing that, you know. I'm up late evening, early morning hours, you know, responding to power outages, you know. That I will keep on doing, you know, because that is why I'm here, you know.
And you do that, you really do.
This coming election presents an opportunity to all of us, you know, to get rid of the government that we are complaining every single day about, and to vote in a government capable of its task. Excuse me, to make sure that we get the services that we are paying for, you know, you see. And I would love to encourage people, you know, to make sure that they are properly registered in the area where they live, because this election is different, you know. You can only vote at in the voting district or voting station where you live, you understand. So the IEC presented us with 2 registration weekends, one in November and the other one last weekend, you know, where people could go to the voting stations. But then those of us who have smartphones can go online.
Where do we go to?
You go to the IEC website, and just follow the steps from there, you know, and register yourself if you're not properly registered. You can change your address, you know, to the area where you live. You understand that, you know. And then I'm 100% sure that we're going to have a new government in place in Gauteng, and that might also change government at national level. There's men and women in this country with the necessary skill and expertise
and the love
and passion for this country, you know, that will take this country forward. We cannot roll over and allow the forces of doom to prevail over us.
Your children or grandchildren.
We have generations to come to also
they're gonna say, what did you guys do
in these spaces that we are living in?
Thanks, Marius. Thanks for your time. Appreciated. So look, it seems like your view is there's going to be change this year. There's going to definitely be something that changes.
I'm upbeat.
Change is good. We need change. We just don't know what change is going to be yet. But there will definitely be. The DA is going to play a big part because the DA is the main opposition. So the DA is going to be a big player in what happens.
Yeah, no, we have started the formation of the multi-party charter, you know, which was firstly termed the Moonshot Pact.
Yeah.
And then some parties differed with the DA, said no, we must change the name. And then we gladly changed the name to Multi-Party Charter. And today those parties found each other, you know. And we're looking forward to very good performance at the polls, you know, going forward.
Okay, praise the Lord. Guys, election year, vote. Vote. Marius is from the DA. If you must vote DA, whoever you want to vote for, look, the Democratic, you decide, right? Just go vote. We're not trying to convince you to vote for whoever. As I said, my plan obviously was to vote ACDP.
Yeah, I think I've convinced.
So yeah, who knows? As I said, I'm also still seeing who I should vote for, and but we need change. Vote. Anything in last words?
My parting shot is please let's use this voting power that we have to bring the necessary change we are yearning for. I thank you.
Okay. God bless. Subscribe, like, share. See you next week.